So we're going to talk about two knots because they're normally tied in parallel with one another, or they're used. It's the two half hitches in a taut-line hitch. Traditionally, when you see this in scout books or also just in the outdoors, the two half hitches is a knot that's used to fasten fast to an item, so it's going to connect in and not let go. Taut-line hitch is adjustable, so we're going to begin with two half hitches. I'm going to set transition. So here we have an item. This could be a tent peg, it could be an object like a tree or something, even a grommet. And what we're going to do is we're going to go around the object, put the running end over top the standing end, that's the one that's not going to move, and we're going to reach our hand back and pull the tail or the running end through. So that's one half hitch. We do the same thing. Put the short end over, reach your hand back behind, or in this case I'm going to use my fingers, grab the tail and pull it through, and what you end up having is a knot that looks just like that. So one half hitch, two half hitches. This is a little bit different and sometimes this gets tricky. You can see the reason why it is the ends are actually opposing one another. Commonly you'll see folks tying this knot where it'll look something like this, which is a little different knot. They're lined up. That's actually a girth hitch or a lark's head that's tied there. In this case, you want to make sure that we have this knot. Now, how you can tell is if you are comfortable with your knots and kind of figuring it out. If we flip this over, you can see that that looks very, very strikingly like the knot that we just discussed a little bit while ago, a clove hitch. So basically it's a clove hitch that's run on a standing end. And again, it's used that when it holds fast, it cinches down and doesn't let go. So the next knot, as we mentioned, is one, I'm going to go ahead and untie, that's why I talk, is used for adjusting knots. Again, this is one knot. This goes around. Ideally, what you would see is when you're tying, this would be a tent peg on this side. You bring your knot around the tent peg, or your rope, lay it over top, reach your hand back behind, and again, you're going to pull that end through. So we have one wrap. We do it again for second wrap. So we have two wraps behind, and then we go up front and we do it again, so it's one and over, just like you tied the second half hitch. That forms a knot that looks like this. So one, two, one hitch in the front, that gives you two half hitches. If you wanted this stronger, I've seen where people have actually taken and tied it this way, so you have additional loops back here. That's really to give it more friction, so this is a friction knot. And then again, tie it off with a half hitch in the front, and what that does is it allows you to adjust the rope coming through. Now this piece of 6mm purlon, actually it's about 8mm purlon, I'm sorry, really isn't good to tie this knot because as you can see it doesn't cinch down tight, but for demonstration purposes it works out really well. If this was paracord or knot line or clothesline, excuse me, this knot is really, really great. It cinches down fast and it allows you to then adjust. So again, going through that, I'll untie it for you. Here's your standing end, the end doesn't move. I'm going to tie with this one. We go over once, pull it through, go over once again, pull it through, and then neatness does matter here. We go up front and we tie one more, and what you end up having is a knot that looks just like that. Taut-line hitch. So let's see what else we have. I think I'm going to stay with those. Next one we're going to talk about is a knot that I don't think they show anymore, but it's for shortening the length of rope. It's called a sheep shank, so tune in back for that one.